Well, I've got this bit of chipboard and I'm going to make a photo holder with it so I can hang it on the wall and use it for hanging photographs off, oddly enough. Before I do that, what I want to do is give it a quick sand down. Now, this is a slightly thicker board than I would like to have, but it's what I've got and it cost me nothing. So I'm going to give it a quick sand down first, all the way around, and round off these corners as well. And all I'm using here is my Let's Resin little sander. I use it all the time now for a lot of different crafts. So now my piece of wood is all lovely and smooth. I'm going to cover it with this material. Now this is a piece of material that I got off an old sofa that was being chucked away. And I thought, I'm not wasting that material, I like it. So I got panels out of it. So it was free. And it's quite a nice, thick material as well. So all I'm going to do now is turn that over like that. Then I'm going to upholster that. I don't know which side I prefer actually. Do I prefer the lighter or the darker? Do you know, I think I prefer that darker side. So I'm going to cover it that way. What I'm going to be using is my staple gun here. And I'm going to pull that fairly tight like that. Put one in the middle there. I love these staple guns. Now pull that tight again there, because they take all the hard work out of everything. There we go, and pop that one there, and then just work along those sides, pulling it slightly like that, so it's nice and tight on there. So that's going to be lovely and tight on that board. And now what I need to do is these corners. Bring them up like that, bring that through there. So I'm bringing that up so I've got corner bit there like that. Then I'm going to poke that bit through there. So I brought them up like that, pull that tight, and I'm just going to pop one in there to hold that together. Push that in there like that, fold that over like that, so I've got a nice clean edge, and then staple all the way through that. I'll trim all this up in a second. I'll show you that once again. So I'm going to put one near there, push that in like that bit there, so it's folded there. Bring that close as I can to there, to that corner, fold that over, and it gives me a nice neat corner, which I'll show you in a second. Look how nice and neat those corners are now. And then all I have to do is go across this bit with the staples, and then that's on there. I'll do the same with this end, and then I'll show you what's next. Now I've got that done, all I'm going to do is just go along here and trim this up so there's not so much bulk on the back. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is measure myself out a bit of this backing. It'd be better to use a rotary blade for this, because look how untidy and crooked that is. Move that along a little bit and cut that a bit neater. This will keep it from fraying and doing all the other sorts of things that I don't want it to do. Now I don't want this very big backing bit. And all this is the material that I used when I did a little bit of upholstery work. I'm going to fold that over like that. And then bring that up to roughly about there towards the edge. And now this is where I'm going to have nice neat staples. I'm just going to hold that as I go along and then do the same down all of the sides. Now all I have to do is place some of this ribbon that I've got here on the board. Should have done this really before I did the backing, because then I could have hid the back of the ribbon. But there we go. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. You need to pull this fairly tight. Now what I'm going to do is go across here like this with this ribbon all the way to the end. So now I've put those on. It definitely would have looked better if I'd have put that backing on at the end. I don't know what come over me, but there we go. Now all I'm going to do is screw a couple of these hanging hooks into this so it can be hung up on the wall. There we go. So that's what that side looks like. I'll show you how easy it is to use. And now all you need to do is pop your photographs in there like that. That's from my son when he was in sports day. And there we go. And you just sit there like that. And then, but if you don't want to use it for photographs and you want to use it for notes and things like that, then you can. And you can easily hang it on your wall. And that actually cost me nothing to make, apart from buying the ribbon and these two. Hope you've enjoyed that as much as I have. Really quick project there. Check out my other upcycle video that I've got coming up next. I think you'll really love that. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your crafting. Take care. Bye.